What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Disney Plus The Fuss with your host, Sean and Garrett. My name's Sean, sitting over here, that handsome face over there. That's Garrett.
What's up?
And this episode, we're going to be talking about Chapter 10, The Passenger. Episode 2 of Season 2, which does give me some doubts because I remember what happened in Episode 2 of Season 1 was a little lackluster.
I know.
And so there's just a lot of really good stuff and mixed things. Mediocre things to say about this one. But there's still a lot of great stuff to talk about. We've got a great conversation and some really interesting segments to be expanded on in this one. So stick around, listen to the whole thing, and let us know what you think at the end.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Garrett. What are we doing first?
So we're going to be jumping into Blast from the Past. Something that reminded you of this episode while you're watching it.
All right.
Because stories all are so similar to other stories. And so the Blast from the Past is what this episode reminds you of.
Okay, so spoiler alert. Okay. By the way, really quick, I forgot to say that.
No, yeah,
My
you're
bad.
right.
Okay, but for a Blast from the Past, this one, it was kind of obvious for me with a nice spider and a bunch of other little spiders. Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets.
Potter. Great job.
And it's ironic kind of that it's like Season 2, Episode 2, Chamber of Secrets was the second movie in Harry Potter. Just want to point that out as something stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some similarities where they're going into a dodgy. Our characters are going to an uncomfortable, like unsafe environment. There's a bunch of little things around, but it's okay. And then there's one big thing, and then it's not okay, and then they're okay at the end.
Yeah, and you almost summarized the entire episode.
That's right. Oh yeah. I just didn't bring up everybody's favorite salamander character.
Exactly.
Miss Frogger.
Kermit the Frog.
The space frog here. Yeah.
So very similar to your Blast from the Past. Who did spiders better? Am I right? And so for my movie, Return of the King, Lord of the Rings,
who
I think honestly was probably the best spider scene. I apologize.
I was like, Tom Holland in Return of the King, amazing performance. Amazing.
Spider-Verse, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
You can barely see the red and blue superhero outfit. Let him go, you filthies. Like,
anyways, back to it. Who did spider scenes the best?
We're going to start another podcast just about spiders.
That's right. I hate them. It's called Arachno Love.
You can check it out nowhere because we haven't recorded an episode yet.
That's right.
Anyway, no.
Who did spiders right? Who did Return of the King?
Return of the King is the best spider.
Scary, dude.
Yeah, it's dark, it's sinister.
Great.
It's not too cheesy.
And think about Return of the King when that movie was made.
So long ago.
The effects of making that spider that looked really like
Tom Holland did a great job.
Tom Holland,
I don't know if
played
it was
a great
graphics.
spider in Return of the King.
He just put on the spider outfit and how old would he? You've probably been like 4 or 5,
something like that.
He was young. He was good.
He's a young spider.
Yeah. That's probably how he got his audition set up for Spider-Man. He's
Exactly.
like, I don't know if you know this, but I played a human spider. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so that's the Blast from the Past. Is there anything else that you wanted to share on that before we...
And I mean, we're going to dive right into this very shallow episode because there isn't much to talk about with this episode.
It's pretty cut and dry on this one.
Like, on so my Blast from the Past is going to stay there of like... I think Return of the King did the best when you see giant spiders.
There you go. That's what it reminded you of.
So let's summarize this puppy.
So we're going to summarize this for you guys to kind of remind you where we're coming from. Let's see.
Sean, give us a little summary.
All right. The Mandalorian agrees to take a frog lady. That's literally what the episode breakdown says. Not me. Not my words.
A frog lady.
Take a frog lady and her eggs. Wait, this is I have to do it like this, huh? Sorry. Technical difficulties.
That's okay. Frog lady.
The Mandalorian agrees to take a frog lady and her eggs from Tatooine to the estuary moon Trask, where her husband will fertilize the eggs. Nice.
Let's get it on.
In exchange for information on the other Mandalorians. Okay. Due to the eggs' fragility, they must travel at low sublight speeds. On their journey, they are confronted by X-Wing fighters who force the Mandalorian to a nearby ice planet because he is wanted by the New Republic for his role in a prison break. Remember season 1? He crash lands on that ice planet. While the Mandalorian fixes the ship, the child stumbles upon numerous eggs inside an ice cave, which hatch to reveal a swarm of spider-like creatures. Mandalorian, the child, and the Frog Lady passenger are trapped in the Razor Crest, the Mandalorian ship, until the X-Wing pilots find them and kill the creatures. They explain that because the Mandalorian helped apprehend his accomplices from the prison break, they will drop the arrest warrant and leave him with a warning. After the Mandalorian finishes the repairs, the tattered Razor Crest takes off and resumes its journey to Trask.
Yep.
So we don't even get to see this whole story from beginning to end. He still has the Frog Lady by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
reactions. How do you feel?
It's kind of like are you serious? Like, that's how he's gonna, because really he's doing this for information because he's trying to find a Jedi. He knows he's looking for a Jedi. He's calling it the child's kind. He's like, we have to find your kind, your people, you know? He doesn't really know what he's doing, so he's taking the opportunity to do that. But my reaction is kind of like an eye roll on this one. I'm coming like, that's the best storyline that they can do to, you know, get the first step into figuring out what to do next and get the kid to safety.
Ugh.
Like,
yes.
A frog lady?
A frog lady? And not just a frog lady, but this episode fell so flat.
Yeah.
Man, you hit a home run, your first episode. Everyone's so pumped, and then this is what you give us the second week. Was like, sorry guys, we just used all our energy on that first episode, so give us another week of this like frog lady and spiders.
It felt more like sci-fi, like Star Trek to me than Star Wars in a lot of ways. And that's not a good thing.
I know George Lucas always, he was about spiders. You know what I mean? Like, this was an ode, like, and I mean, even Empire Strike Back's the clam octopus looking, like, I get the spider vibe. Mm-hmm. What I liked, I was like, okay, we're on a snowy planet,
right?
So what my thoughts were gonna be, we're gonna start seeing Eskimo monsters like in episode 5,
in Empire,
yeah, and that would have been cool. I actually would have been. I was like, you know, it's probably a little fan servicey, but like, but I think it wouldn't have been too fan servicey because it's like, that's a cool creature that was so scary when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And he was like just munching on things, and Luke's hanging upside down, and it was like, this guy's scary.
Yeah. And
it was only in the first part of that movie. If we brought a character like that back, I don't think that's too fan servicey. I thought that would have been sick. Like, let's see Mandalorian fight.
I think it would have been too easy for him to fight because he's got his armor and he's got laser guns.
Have him fight too,
Luke. Oh, like
that would have been sick.
Like a family or like a pack.
Yeah. So when we like landed on a winter planet. That's literally what I thought.
The first thing that popped
Did not think spiders were coming. When spiders did come, I mean, he roasted them like marshmallows. And the Rangers came and they're like, hey, buddy. Like, it was such
only you could prevent Space Forest fire.
Exactly.
Like, and they let him off with a warning. So that part was flat too. I like when the rebel pilots come in, but they're very flat still.
So flat. And it was literally like cops pulling someone over. All right, be safe out there. Open your trunk. Open your trunk, bro. Like, right. Oh gosh. And from our first episode, and if you haven't heard our first episode of this podcast, listen to it.
Check it out.
This is the episode I thought of when I was like, we could have done a flashback. If you've given me a flashback to get to know Mandalorian, it's okay to have these kind of like filler episodes. That's okay. Mm-hmm. It's just fun action for 30 minutes. Spiders, awesome. Give me one flashback that goes a little deeper, and then I'm happy.
Right.
This grade that I'm going to give this episode would go up if there was a flashback.
True. Yep. So we're saying a lot of negative things. I'm going to take a sidestep and say the thing that I appreciated on this one to kind of change up the tone because we're coming down hard.
Oh, we are.
Too.
But I was so positive the first episode. So
true. That's
best
a good
of both words.
And it's more fresh in your mind, because you binged it all at once.
Yeah, it's true. I'm like, this is awesome. This sucks.
It's an emotional roller coaster. No, as dumb as it was, Baby Yoda is still a kid and doesn't listen to anything. He's eating the eggs. Like the whole mission is for
my
Mando
gosh.
to deliver this lady with the eggs so they can get fertilized, but baby Yoda is over here just munching on the eggs.
That's one thing I liked about this episode, and all you hippies out there that were just trolling this episode about, oh my god, I can't believe baby Yoda was eating eggs. Calm the frick down. Have you ever had an egg?
They weren't fertilized yet either, so
exactly.
they're just regular eggs that people eat.
Exactly.
If you
had a hard-boiled egg, a scrambled egg, screw you guys.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, baby Yoda has to eat.
He's an animal.
He's hungry.
Yeah, he's hungry and cute. It was delicious. I wanted to eat him,
I thought
too.
it was funny because he was that
was awesome. Man, he's like, cute.
Did you just... No.
That was
the
great.
humor, there's not a lot of humor, but I like that it's not overly Disney and too childish, you know?
Exactly.
So I thought that landed pretty well. I did appreciate that tone in that episode.
Totally agree with that. And just to find the positives in this episode, the relationship of Baby Yoda and Mandalorian, they've done a great job.
Yes.
You know, this father-son vibes, this friend, this don't do that, don't eat that. That's all. They did a great job of that. It's not this cheesy, overplayed stuff where it's like, oh gosh,
where he's like, I'm your, your guardian, your father, whatever. He's still a little reluctant, but he understands that he really is like the only chance this kid has until he can give him to his people, and that's his and it's like his character, but he has that I forget what it's called. That's his creed. That's what the armor that's his mission that he's presented with. So he, by his the law that his people live by, he has to do that. That's the most honorable thing that he can do, is to carry that out and make sure that the kid gets there safe. And so he's kind of embracing that a little bit more this time around than last season. Yeah,
and to be positive of this episode, just so that we're not just trashing it, because we like the show. We like this episode he didn't really talk to this lady that, they're going slow speed because of her baby.
Sub-light.
I know, that would be funny if they have some banter between Mandalorian and the frog lady. So it's been a while since it's been laid, eh? Do you see how full my tank is, bro? I haven't been laid in years. I got 6 dozen of these puppies.
Backing those things out, jarring them up really quick, and big mason jars. Whoa!
One day,
I'm gonna get my nut. I'm gonna get it.
Until Baby Yoda eats your nut.
Yes.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right, back to the show.
Hey, he's 50 years old. Baby. It's
It's adult. He's adult.
It's weird that why she has all these eggs. Why did she decide to get the eggs laid on a different place than where her husband is? Those things
very 2020.
They have to travel sub-light. Come on.
I know. Lay those puppies when you get there, lady.
Oh, wait. When you said 2020, are you thinking illegal immigration, kind of low-key? How
I was thinking that women are freezing their eggs because they don't need no man, but
the future
frog ladies.
Okay, I was just asking. I'm not making any commentary on that. I was just wondering what you're trying to say. Okay, so again, to circle back to the rebel pilots, this guy is popping up, the main dude, and actually when they showed up and they took out the spiders with I thought it was cool, but I also thought it was weird that they were using rifles, handguns, to shoot it when they were
they're
sitting
in a ship.
I'm that's kind of weird, because then the spiders could crawl up the ship or whatever. But they did a really good job at being effective soldiers, so it is doing a okay job at reminding the audience these people aren't just in charge because the Empire's gone. They're the next best thing. They actually can take care of business, but they're just so far away from the main systems. They're on the outer rim still, so it really is the Wild West, and they're trying to restore law and order, but they can't really do that. And they realize that Mandalorian he's not a bad guy. He doesn't follow all the laws by the letter,
right?
But he's a good guy, and they know they would rather have him as an ally than an enemy.
Exactly.
And that is going to be something that's going to be interwoven into the overall series story of the new Republic and the Mandalorians trying to regain their throne and the struggle for that, and we're going to see where that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. They finished this episode on a cliffhanger, and I think that shouldn't have, like, I think I would have been a little bit happier if they did get to the planet.
Yeah, me
because
too.
It's like, you're cliffhangering this. Like,
if Frogger gets to the other side of the road, the level's over, okay? Like, let's get this thing over
I don't
with.
need you to stop in the middle of the road to know that he gets there.
Yeah. Will Frogger make it next week? Tune in to already know the answer.
Kermit the Frog is like, oh, there, I hope they get there. Oh my God!
Can you
Piggy,
say
Miss
episode?
Piggy, get over here! Episode 2 was my favorite. I'd fertilize a few of those eggs, baby.
Oh no!
Oh, hey, babe. Hey, babe.
That would be awkward.
You're my only honey bake.
Slap that ham.
That's right. So yeah, that was a bummer. Let's just jump into the review of this guy because this episode doesn't even.
It doesn't
so
really
flat.
warrant a lot else. Well, I guess one other thing we could expand on, was it exciting, or was it kind of just like you knew Mando was going to be okay when the little spiders started to get into the Razor Crest and they were like breaking in and stuff?
You know, anytime I can watch Mandalorian burn shit, shoot, like, I was okay with it, actually.
When he's in the cockpit, when he's in the pit.
That's right.
when he drives the ship and he has his flamethrower and he
that's cool.
That part was cool. I love the flamethrower.
The spiders weren't bad. Like, we just needed more depth. You know what I mean? Like, the action.
It was too quick. Like, it all happened too quick. Like, and it was fairly predictable. Like, they're on a sketchy place that they don't want to be, and Baby Yoda wanders off onto these rocks that look like space crab spiders. You know, it's like, okay.
And maybe it's because the episode majority of it was a Baby Yoda that doesn't talk, a frog lady that doesn't talk, spiders.
And Mandalorian doesn't really talk. Mando don't talk either.
So I think where we're like, there wasn't enough dialogue.
Oh,
in this one.
okay. So that's true. It was like action, considering where they were at in the previous episode. Action was subpar. Dialogue was subpar. The only real piece of evidence that I can add that shows character development for Mando is that when they're eating, he eats in front of the kid, but he like puts it under his helmet. So before he wouldn't really eat in front of the kid at all, or he would like turn his back or whatever. You know what I mean? And this one, he's like, okay, maybe because he saw Cobb Vanth and the you know how different people can maybe live their different Mandalorian lives.
Right.
He's like slowly kind of like easing up on the strictness of the creed, and I'm predicting through the rest, for as long as the show's going to run, we're going to see him a little bit more like humanized,
right?
And we're going to see that come into play.
And you know, this one should have been called The Passenger, and then in parentheses, this episode's for the kids. Like, that's what they should have said, because it's like, you got the cute frog lady, you got the cute Baby Yoda, you've got these spiders that, like you said, the action's kind of subpar, but it's scary enough for a 9-year-old. And then you've got the cool Rangers, and then we're done. So it was like, if you look at it like that, as a child's review, this would be a great, scary, exciting episode. For an adult, we're left wanting, and that's okay.
But it is for the kid.
It's for the kids.
But except for that one steamy scene, and I mean that literally.
When Yoda was eating the egg?
No. When Frog Lady was taking a quick dip in the heater, the sexual tension, you could cut that with a lightsaber.
That's right. Where's the dark saber when you need it? Am I right? Good. Wow.
And just like, you don't need to go all the way to Trask or whatever the plan is to get those eggs fertilized. Sorry. Is that the kind of podcast this is? We're just gonna be who we are.
You're really making my Beskar steel steamy.
Beskar steel. It's like there's all kinds of things happening on the inside of this armor right now.
That's right. Unpenetrable. Yeah. Boy, you're making it work.
Okay.
All right.
So
review this puppy.
Let's review it. Let's give it a letter. Honestly, because of the high note that we were left off, and this is episode 2, and I expected more, I'm going to give it a little bit of a harsher grade. I'm going to give it a straight C.
A straight C?
A straight C. It was good.
It was everything we talked about.
It was everything that we talked about. Like, left me wanting a lot more action subpar, not a lot of development or introducing new questions that we have that need to be answered later on. It was just literally a filler episode.
Yeah.
So, and it was okay. So I give it a C.
What grade?
Which is the lowest rating I've given
an episode. I think
I'm
pretty sure
on this whole podcast.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, listen back to the other episodes, everybody.
Yeah, I've got higher standards now.
What grade do you show your parents where they said you should have done better?
Oh,
a D.
Oh,
I'm giving them a D. Whoa. It's not an F. It's not like, dang, you just straight F'd it. Okay. No, it's a D where like, dude, you didn't even pass. You couldn't even get a C. And it really is that episode. It fell flat, not enough dialogue. Frog lady, what? And so it's like, you just got an A plus, parents are stoked, and then you come home with a D. And that really was how I felt ending the second episode was it fell flat. Like, you just didn't try hard enough.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? They could have done so much.
So last week, in the previous episode, we talked about how Disney kind of has this whole format already in place before they start production on everything.
Right.
So they know that they have to allocate different amounts of their budget to emphasize different episodes more or less.
Right.
This one was obviously the filler episode, and they needed to minimize whatever was going on in this one to do something later on in this season, which I'm guessing that's what happened, but also it makes me worried about them doing the same thing on the other series that are going to be coming out that are not Disney. It's like, are there going to be a lot of filler? But you're going to spend so much time and money to create a new show, but then you're going to give something that's just kind of like, on this week, like not much happens. It's like, that's what you're spending your money on. Is that what you're
filler episodes?
Is that the best that we can do? Maybe that just with the big finales that they have to do, maybe that's a decision that they'd be like, listen, we have a better storyline, we just cannot execute it. At least give us better dialogue.
Exactly. Give us some more talking scenes. And no, you bring up a great point. We have to remember this is a show. Mm-hmm. If you've watched any type of show, whether Friends, Scrubs, or an adventure show, there are filler episodes, and you don't see it because it's the traditional way of making TV shows.
Yeah.
And no one could think it twice. This is a new generation of TV to where, like, you still need these filler, but you're going to get it. It's going to be more noticeable because there isn't commercials. Everyone's attention is fully there because you got 30 minutes and you're releasing it once a week. Uh-huh. So a filler episode's going to hurt you way more than traditional TV. And I think that's where we're feeling with this. It's like, we have to be okay with there's going to be filler episodes. Yeah, the new shows, there's going to be those because that's TV for you.
Yeah.
But I'd take that over the 2.5 hour Kylo Ren shows. Those movies sucked. Mm-hmm. And, we probably would like Rey, Finn, all of those people. We'd probably like them if it was in a show.
Yeah, if we got to see their journey a little bit more step by step.
Yeah, Kylo Ren
was very rushed. Everything
was so rushed. Kylo Ren was a good creation, I think. Mm-hmm. And if they put him in a show,
Finn was like the only character. Well, not the only character. He was the only main character that was just kind of like very bland. But if they took their time and like told that story, those characters would be a lot. Well, Sean, would the story be amazing? No. Would the characters be more believable and well-rounded? Absolutely, they would be.
So let's say, okay, Disney Plus is like, you know what, guys? We realized with Mandalorian that TV shows are better. We're going to redo these movies, the new ones, with Rey, all of them. I think that they created really good characters.
I liked Daisy Ridley. I think Daisy Ridley is a really good actress. Actually, I was happy on Force Awakens when she came out on that with her character Rey, and kind of, I understand they haven't really done a Star Wars movie where there's a female lead.
Right.
That wasn't a bad thing.
No, it wasn't.
But the way they rushed her and just be like, oh, she's the most powerful ever. It's like, well, we gotta figure out why, because Luke was the most powerful Jedi really until that point. But we got to see him struggle and lose people around him, and he loses friends, and he struggles and he loses his hand, and he fails over and over until he can finally get that, and then he helps his dad get the redemption at the end. But we didn't get something. They wanted to do something different, which I understand, but you still need to, if you want a good story, you need good characters.
Yep.
They didn't establish that. Then that really sucks. I feel bad because
it's a bummer,
because now those people are like that trilogy, at least from the hardcore Star Wars fans, is like disliked even more than the prequels ever were. And people remember after the prequels were out, it's like, yeah, it was cool. And then the more time went by, you're like, wait a second, a lot of those sucked. Like a lot of parts of Attack of the Clones was like, wait, that was garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, but the characters worked. Like,
the characters worked. And
thank God for Ewan McGregor.
Right.
He there was nothing bad about his character that I could say about. Like,
and that's why he's coming back with his own show.
Oh man,
I'm stoked for that.
We need to do a episode or a YouTube video of just the things to come for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, there's
because there's so much to talk about.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They're gonna blow up this world. And you know what I did like about the movies, these new ones, was the Force conversation with Kylo Ren and Rey, where like if they created a show, you know, the between movie show where it's almost a drama and it's this intense like conflict with Kylo Ren and this, like, I like that dialogue in the movie. Actually, it was dark and it was like, oh man, they're in each other's heads. There's this conflict. I like that. And I think in a show platform where they were able to dive more into the depth of that, give the characters more of it, would probably make those movies better. So maybe not remake those movies. You could build shows around them.
Expand, like, yeah.
And make them better.
Flesh that idea out.
Because I think, I mean, even after the final, the last movie that came out, I think they came out with like an extended version of that, and they made it better.
More space ponies?
Probably.
Thank God.
I love that.
Oh, no, we didn't.
That was horrible.
All right, so let's do our senior standout.
Senior standout.
So explain to the audience what senior standout is, so that they're not taken aback. They're like, wait, I thought we were talking about Mandalorian. So basically, you guys, we're done talking about reviewing the episode at this point.
Our show is called Disney Plus The Fuss.
Yeesh.
Senior standouts is the fuss. It's what we've seen. It's what we've seen in the moment. It could have nothing to do with space or action.
Yeah. This is like the one thing that's kind of like a standalone.
This is our show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
we're
no
not paid
nonsense
by
show.
Disney.
We're not sponsored by anybody.
We kind of curse. Disney doesn't curse. So
we're sorry.
So senior standout is something we've seen that's like really wowed us, or really wowed us in a bad way, where I was like, that was horrible.
Okay. So staying in theme with this episode, where it's like, is that all we have for now? Kind of like the letdown vibe. Is my feeling about the WandaVision show.
Ooh.
Now, I did my trailer reaction video. Check it out.
Check it out on YouTube.
What my face was doing when I saw that come out. I basically, just to expand on that, there are a lot of questions that I have, but I have no idea what's going on. I think, like I said in the video, Paul Bettany is one of my favorite actors. He really is.
Oh,
he's in my favorite movie. He's in Master and Commander.
But
he's also in Knight's Tale. I love Knight's Tale. Heith Ledger.
Master and Commander.
Great
actor.
Yeah, and
The Priest. Did you watch that one?
Actually, no, I did not.
Yeah, because don't waste your time. It was awful.
No, I don't want to change my opinion on Paul Bettany. He's my favorite actor because I haven't seen.
It's true that. Anyways,
but no, he's interesting enough as Vision, but really, what's going to draw people into that show is Elizabeth Olsen. Like,
she is the best of those sisters.
She is.
But if the Olsen twins are in the show,
you got it, dude. They're like, oh no, Vision, we have to get off the planet. Bring in the twins.
Who's the villain? Bob Saget.
Oh my God. It's just like Full House. He's the bad guy.
Is this Disney Marvel
Uncle
Full
Jesse?
House?
Oh, I love that crossover.
Uncle Jesse comes in looking like Wolverine or something.
He's like, you took everything from me. And he's like, have mercy.
Hey, so one thing I enjoyed from your video, your reaction video of the trailer, was the fact that she lost her accent.
Nobody really talks about that. Marvel's just like, yeah, we'll just put that show on the side, and no one. It's like, yeah, she slowly and subtly lost the accent because she's supposed to be Russian, and they showed up in Russia. No, wait. Was it in Russian? Avengers 2?
People know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it sounded Russian.
I'm getting that confused with Justice League. Because that was also Russia.
Yeah,
There's a lot of bad stuff that happens in Russia.
Yeah, her brother.
So, yeah, but she loses her accent, and I don't even care. I like her
No one cared, because no one said anything except the super fans.
Yeah, I think she is just a great actress, and now that she finally gets her own show with Paul, I think that they're going to actually be able to shock the audience with how cool of a story they can do, because we don't really know what's going to happen. If there's something in the comics that told a similar story, like, I don't know about it, and the less I know going into a show, the better for me, because the production value looks awesome. Their characters are already cool. I've got not high hopes. I expect good things, but I have no idea what's going to happen.
So, a critique of Disney Plus in general, they do a really good job with their shows. They don't really do a good job with the trailers. Like, this trailer didn't do much. It didn't show you. And I mean, yeah, they just don't produce. I feel like they're
doing their
advertisements they don't show you the best parts of the show, and you're not really excited about it. Like,
so they take a lot of inspiration a little bit more from like the teaser trailer instead of like the actual trailer. It's kind of like fast food. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, we need to give you something flashy in your face that looks desirable enough that you're like, okay, like, yeah, I'm into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not going to show you a picture of like a porterhouse steak with like 3 sides or whatever and like an IPA that costs $18 or whatever. And they're going to be like, here it is. And you're like, I know exactly, you're showing me what to expect. And I already know what to expect. So with that being said, with the fast food thing, you can be pleasantly surprised with some of the stuff that you get.
Oh yeah.
I'm just worried that with all the shows that they're coming out, that they have to like really focus on what they're going to gamble more on. You know what I mean? Because I think some of these shows are only going to get one season.
That's what I was going to bring up.
They're not going to be able to fund these things over and over. There's going to be crossovers. Characters will come and go, but a dedicated like WandaVision show or a Loki show, like, they're not going to do like 7 or 8 seasons of that probably. Like, I really doubt that.
Well, my thing is with WandaVision, this show, like you brought up, is going to be probably a standalone. We're just this is Marvel content that's in a show platform. Check it out. Wow. Watch it whenever you want and keep paying the monthly fee. That's basically what this show is. Yeah. It's something not excited. The Loki show, I'm excited for. And that'll be my, you know what, I was saving, I was putting it in my pocket for another senior standout.
Okay.
But let's just do it right now.
Sure.
The Loki trailer. Have you seen it yet?
Yes, I did see the Loki trailer.
I'm excited.
And Falcon Winter Soldier trailers out as well. I've seen all of them. Mm-hmm. So rank them. 1 is your most excited, 2, and then 3 is your least excited.
Me and everyone else. Loki. Everyone's excited.
Tom Hiddleston's awesome.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be great. Owen Wilson's in it. That's unique,
surprisingly.
Yes,
but I'm not on board actually with you and everybody else apparently.
Really? You're not excited for the show?
I am. I think it's gonna be cool.
Anti-hero of all anti-heroes. Everyone loves this good bad guy Loki.
Dude, okay. First of all, I love anti-heroes. I'm a pessimist and I'm a Scorpio, okay? Tom Hiddleston's literally me in a comic book.
It's true.
Right? You guys look alike. He's a trickster. We're white with dark hair, okay? Thank you. What did you expect?
So you're not excited for this?
I am excited for it. I'm just
not on the wagon as much as everyone else.
I've got, I would say, mixed feelings about WandaVision. I'm excited for Loki, but I think the one that did the best job at the trailer to get me pumped for it is Falcon Winter Soldier, because they have that yin and yang thing going on between Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then there's the bigger story that's already there where it's like Chris Evans, Captain America, is like, here's the shield, this is for you, and we get to see them. He's like, am I worthy of this? I have to go on my own adventures to figure out who I am, and we get to see those characters expanded. And I already thought Winter Soldier was a really cool character, but he's a little bit more cold. You know, remember, he's brainwashed. He doesn't really have the same emotion that Bucky did.
Right.
So it's going to be a little bit of like the fire from Anthony Mackie and then Sebastian Stan, which both of them are cool actors.
Right.
And seeing them kind of in a, what's that Mel Gibson
Lethal Weapon.
I think it gave me Lethal Weapon vibes, and I thought,
okay,
and so that kind of story is something that I think has longevity, compared to the other ones, and that's why I'm more excited about it.
So for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and you guys can hate on me, I haven't seen one Fast and Furious movie, and the reason why is this type of action. And I don't know why I'm mentally putting it in the same category of, it's like too weapony. It's too like mechanical. Like the trailer of Winter Soldier, like I'm excited, but I'm not like, oh man, because it's a lot of shooting and technology. It's
right. They don't have superpowers.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is the only Marvel show that's coming out at the beginning of 2021 where the main characters don't have any
Joes.
Yeah, they just have. Well, I mean, like he's got his like super arm or whatever from Wakanda, but they're just regular people that are going to be doing a little bit more spy espionage adventures.
Exactly,
so
and this is just personal preference. That's not like one of my top exciting. Like I'm excited to watch it because I'm a fan. But the spy espionage, I like that too. If it's like more James Bondy, but this mix of superhero, not superhero, you just have cool gadgets. That's why it's like a 2 for me. I'm more excited for Loki.
But what about the Loki trailer specifically, other than like knowing who Loki is? Like, there's not a lot that really shows up.
Yeah.
Why are you so stoked about that one?
Well, because I'm intrigued with the story. Like, where are they going with this? Is this just going to like, be a filler of like what Loki was doing between when he gets the Tesseract and he's just goofing her off, and I don't think it's gonna be that. I think there's gonna be more to it. I'm just excited for what that looks like. But he's a likable character. I want to see more of him. We wanted to see more of him in the movies, and so I think I'm just an average fan, and like we all want more Loki. They're giving us more Loki. I'm excited for that.
Cool. I would agree and say that he, at least for the shows for the time being, he's the strongest character.
Yes,
he's the biggest character of all of them that are getting their own show, really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's good things coming. And then there's more stuff. There's more stuff after that. Yeah, we just need to do a video where we're talking about just Marvel stuff and then Star Wars stuff. This is why we started this show, because we were like, we're already spending this much time and like we're so excited for the stuff that's already here. We need to do a podcast and like YouTube videos because we think everybody else would like to listen to us talk almost as much as
That's right. That's right.
I think everybody else likes the sound of our voice as much as I don't know. All right, you guys. So next week we're going to be talking about episode 3. That one's going to be coming out. We got other stuff in the works, so you can go ahead, check it out. Leave us a review and subscribe on YouTube, and join us for the ride because 2021 is going to be a fast, wild year.
Woo!